Okay, next question.
Have you worked in films where you played icons? If you could pick any icon, fictional or non-fictional, to play over 5 years, who would you pick?
That's a great question.
Modesty is brilliant.
That's a fantastic question. Wow. I don't know, I'd love to play a cowboy. I'd love to do a western. I've always said this. I've always loved. I mean, when I played Lancelot, it was the closest thing to doing a western because I was on horseback the entire time, brandishing 2 swords. But I'd love to do a traditional western in the same vein as Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid or something like that.
Not Brokeback Mountain 2.
I'm sure I could bring those characters to life equally well as well. Yes. But yeah, I'd love to play a western. But that's a fantastic question. Yeah.
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd love to play Freddie Mercury. What a... Thank you.
This is the same guy that told Jason Momoa, "Oh, you're gorgeous," and he, oh, sorry, sexy bitch, and then he just called, what did you call Manu earlier? Yeah. So
yes.
And now he sees you as Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
Hey, man. Which Queen song? I Want to Break Free? Good song.
Who Wants to Live Forever?
Good. I can't see you here. Is that one of the nicest compliments you've had?
You know what? Freddie Mercury is one of the best singers that has ever existed. Yes, he is. He's amazing. Yes, that's right. Hello.
You're amazing at Fantastic Four.
Thank you very much.
My question is, I know it's asked before, but if you were asked to do any superhero, which one would you choose and why?
It's very hard having represented Mr. Fantastic. I've set the bar so high. I'm not sure who I could represent, and so many great actors who have represented all the other great comic book heroes. I don't know, going back to the earlier question of playing a villain, I mean, I was very envious of Julian McMahon, who was playing Doctor Doom. I would have loved to do what he was doing, to play that sort of dark character. So if you could think of a dark villain from any comic book, I think that's what I would think of.
I think the Riddler.
The Riddler, yes.
I think the Riddler.
I could play the Riddler with a microphone, sort of blending into the Freddie Mercury thing. So, yeah. The singing Riddler. Yes, yeah, why not?
Can we sort of like paint that idea?
Yes,
someone mixes.
it was born here. It was born here. Hi there. Sorry, what was the question? What motivates me? Well, now, I mean, as an artist and as an actor, as I said earlier, you get inspiration on a daily basis. But now that I'm a father, I have a 3-year-old daughter. It's not very hard to get motivated every day because you have a family to take care of. So I love my life as an actor. I love every aspect of it, and every time I see my daughter in the morning, I'm sort of motivated to get out there and hopefully get the next fantastic part. Sorry, I can't hear you. What to paint? No, I'm afraid my paintings look like my daughter's 3-year-old painting. Oh, you're a painter? Ah, right. Sorry, forgive me, thank you. Thank you.
Very much.
Good evening. Hey.
Good evening.
Welcome to Dubai.
Thank you very much.
As a Welsh actor, there are quite a few Welsh actors who are now famous in Hollywood, like Lucy Fans and Tim Burton from way back when, T. Dalton. Has it usually been more challenging for Welsh actors? I mean, like Welsh actors coming up today from Wales, do they usually find it more challenging to reach Hollywood and the heights that you've reached?
I don't know, I think being Welsh or Scottish or Irish or English, I think we're sort of steeped in the tradition of the theatre, I think, back there. So we're all inspired by having been on stage at one point or another. So I think we have maybe a little bit of an advantage when we go out to Hollywood, that we have that confidence of having created characters and doing it night after night, and rehearsing and creating them for weeks and weeks before you start performing them. So specifically being Welsh, I don't think has ever been a hindrance. It's been more of an identity. It's been sort of more of an identifying mark, really, and something unique and different to bring to a meeting or an audition.
Do you think the spectre of Richard Burton is over every Welsh actor?
Yes, in the same way that Connery sort of set the bar for Bond. I mean, any Welsh actor is always compared to Burton, and you know, we're all sort of trying to tread in those great footsteps.
You can't do a Richard Burton impression.
No, I can't. Of course, I know it is. I mean, a good friend of mine, Matthew Rees, who's another Welsh actor, he does him perfect. We grew up together and we were roommates for many years, and he used to do it on a daily basis. He's a great mimic. And also Tony Hopkins, an unbelievable Welsh actor. Hiya.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. Great t-shirt, by the way.
Thank you. If they offer you to animate any of the cartoon characters, what would it be? Why?
Cartoon characters?
Yeah.
If I were to...
Could you put up a SpongeBob?
SpongeBob, he's sort of subversive and crazy and naughty, isn't he? That would be amazing. I don't know, the Pink Panther springs to mind. That would be a real challenge to bring an animated version of Pink Panther to life. I don't know why my daughter's into pink at the moment, because I guess all girls are at a certain age. So I think it's pink around the house, and she's falling in love with the Pink Panther. So I'm going to say the Pink Panther.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm just wondering, which actor inspired you to go into acting? I'm just wondering.
There's well, as I said earlier, I fell in love with acting by doing it. But my father is a great lover of westerns. So Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were two icons of the screen, with Robert Redford and Newman playing those two leading parts. And as you said earlier, the Magnificent Seven, with Steve McQueen and Yul Brynner, all those amazing actors in there. So, I mean, when you think of inspirations like Redford and Newman, you don't need to go any further, really. Inspirations to become an actor. Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Fantastic costume.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
First things first, welcome to the City of Life.
Yes, indeed.
And I was just wondering, of all the roles you played, which was your favorite and why?
It's a difficult question to answer because every, as you said, there's nuance and differences in every role that you play. There is if I had to choose one, as an actor, there's so many things that have to fall in line to make a great movie or a great television series or an episode of something on television. That it starts off with a script, and then it's the experience of shooting it. And if the script or the story has some sort of meaning, or if I'm educated or inspired by actually doing it, and two things spring to mind. One is playing William Wilberforce in Amazing Grace. That was pretty inspiring because I'm representing somebody from history achieved something so great in abolishing the slave trade. So when you're following those sort of footsteps, it's kind of daunting and a real privilege to represent something like that. And I also did a TV series called Warriors or Peacekeepers for the BBC many moons ago, when I played a soldier in the British Army going into Bosnia during the crisis in '92. And that was quite an inspiring piece, because I was representing people that are representing a part of history. So when you get inspired and educated, those experiences sort of elevate what you do as an actor to a whole other level. As much as it's great fun to play somebody like Mr. Fantastic and that's a lot, when something means something, I think it elevates the whole thing.
Thank you very much, big man.
Thank you.
You alright? Can you reach that microphone? There we go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
If you weren't an actor, what would you be?
A singer! Did you hear it earlier?
I'd be a singer on the cruise ship. So, you know what? I don't know, to be honest with you. I would be at a loss if I didn't act, because I didn't go to university, I didn't study, I don't have any other training except for training as an actor. I think being in the industry, I'd love to have a go at directing. I think that would be producing things, for myself. That would be quite interesting. My parents are both teachers, so I'm sure I've got that in the blood. But and I do enjoy being around children, and see you get inspired by children every day. My daughter inspires me every day to be better and to be smarter and wiser and to be eternally young as well. That's so maybe a teacher, maybe.
Who's your favorite superhero and why?
Favorite superhero? Well, when you've played Mr. Fantastic, it's very hard to fall in love with another superhero. But then, I think Supergirl is a pretty good superhero. Who's your favorite superhero?
Superwoman.
Superwoman, yes. Come on, that's a silly question, huh?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our Q&A session now. Thank you so much for being here. Let's give it up for Ioan Gruffyd!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the lot.
Ioan will be signing and taking pictures tomorrow. Make sure you get your vouchers. And see him, get a nice picture.
Yeah.